Hello friends, dear learners and my dear student. First upon I take an opportunity to welcome you at my DYBSc Analytical Chemistry class. I am Dr. S.R. Labde, working as Associate Professor in the Department of Chemistry at KTChem College, Nasik. Student, in previous lecture we discussed the qualitative applications of spectrophotometry. We studied how spectrophotometry is utilized for identification of sample component. In today's lecture, we will discuss the applications other than qualitative analysis, that is a quantitative analysis by spectrophotometry. We have to discuss here how spectrophotometry is utilized for determination of amount of material present in the sample. Therefore, quantitative analysis or quantitative applications of spectrophotometry. First, that is a quantitative analysis by using a calibration curve method. Calibration curve method. The calibration curve method is also called as working curve method. It is also known as a calibration curve method. In this case, a series of standard solutions are prepared and absorbance of standard solution is measured as a function of concentration. Then the absorbance of sample solution is measured for determination of concentration of the analyte by using a calibration curve. Therefore, here in this method, a series of standard solution of analyte of different concentration are prepared. Then the absorbance of standard solution and the sample solution is measured at the lambda max wavelength. Then the calibration curve is obtained. Calibration curve is obtained for determination of concentration of analyte. Therefore, here the series of standard solutions, those are prepared. Their absorbance is measured as a function of concentration. Absorbance is plotted as a function of concentration. We have a straight line passing through the origin called as calibration curve. From the absorbance of sample, we can find out the concentration of A sample is equal to concentration of sample. By this method, we can determine the concentration of sample by a calibration curve method. Therefore, second method of quantitative analysis, that is a quantitative analysis by using a molar absorptivity. In this case also, a series of standard solutions of analyte having different concentrations are prepared. Then the absorbance of standard solutions as well as sample solution is measured at the wavelength of lambda max. Then a graph of absorbance as a function of wavelength is plotted and the slope of this line is determined. This slope is equal to epsilon into p. In this case, when we plot According to Beer's law, when A is equal to epsilon into B into C, when we plot a graph of absorbance as a function of concentration, then we have a slope equal to epsilon B, since this is the equation of a straight line passing through the origin. And so we can calculate this slope as a epsilon B, and in colorimetry or spectrophotometry the value of path length B is equal to 1 centimeter. Therefore slope is directly equal to epsilon when B is equal to 1 centimeter. Therefore in this case absorbance of sample is measured, then epsilon B is calculated from the slope and Cx can be determined. Therefore Ax is equal to slope into Cx. Here Ax is known, slope is known, Cx we can determine by using this proportionality constant epsilon B or molar absorptivity. Student, the third quantitative application, that is by comparing the absorbance of standard and sample. Standard solution and sample solution. This is also a simple method of quantitative analysis. In this case, a single standard solution of a analyte is prepared. Therefore, a single standard solution of analyte is prepared. That means whose concentration is known, prepared. Then absorbance of standard and sample is measured at the wavelength of lambda max, and then we can find out the concentration. Therefore absorbance of sample is equal to epsilon into B into concentration of sample. Absorbance of standard is equal to epsilon into B into concentration of standard. Here B is path length which is identical during the measurement. Epsilon, that is a molar absorptivity, it is again a same for both solutions having same type of analyte. Therefore here Ax upon As is equal to Cx upon Cs, and therefore here Cx is equal to Ax upon As into concentration of standard, and therefore concentration of sample can be determined by using this method. Here this is called as color comparison method. In this case only single standard solution of sample is tested along with the sample for determination of concentration of sample. Students, now we discuss the next application of spectrophotometry, that is the determination of molar composition of complex. Determination of molar composition of the complex. We know that complex, that is a coordination compound formed by the combination of metal ion and different ligand. In this case metal ion, that is central metal ion, and ligand is the species that forms the coordination bond to form a complex. Therefore here, depending upon the coordination number of metal ion, here number of ligand joined to that metal ion. In this case we have to find out the molar composition, that is the ratio of metal ion concentration to ligand in a complex, and first method for determination of this is the mole ratio method. In this method, the metal ion concentration is kept constant, that is 1. And here ligand ion concentration that is changed as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 like this. Therefore, here in this case, suppose for example, if metal ion forms 1:1 composition, then we have maximum absorbance at this composition. 1:2, then we have maximum absorbance at this wavelength. 1:3 means at this wavelength. If suppose for example 6 ligands are joined to a metal ion, at that time here absorbance is increases up to 6, and after 6 this absorbance remains constant. That means when we plot a graph of absorbance as a function of number of ligand joined to the or molar concentration of ligand, then we have a curve like this. That is concentration of ligand. Here 1 mole, 2 mole, this is in moles, and this is also in moles. Therefore, here concentration of ligand per mole. Then we observe that here absorbance increases to certain level, and after that it becomes constant. Then we have a two straight line intersecting at a point, that is a number of moles of ligand joined to metal ion. And in this way, here we can determine the molar composition of the complex by the method that is called as molar or mole ratio method. Here moles of particular metal ion kept constant and moles of ligand are continuously changed. Then a graph of absorbance as a function of ligand shows two straight lines intersecting at a point that indicates the concentration of ligand combined with the metal ion. Second method, which is used for determination of composition of complex, that is called as a Jobs continuous variation method. In this case, total concentration of metal ion and ligand is kept constant throughout the complex, throughout the determination of composition of complex. Here this is 1 mole, then this is 9 mole, 2, 8, 3, 7, 4, 6, 5, then 6, 4, 7, 3, 8, 2, 9, 1. In this way, here the moles of metal ion and ligand, both concentrations are kept constant, that is each equal to 10. In this case, when we plot a graph of a particular on the solution by measuring the absorbance, when we plot a graph of absorbance as a function of mole ratio, that is concentration of M upon concentration of L. Therefore, here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and so on. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then here we have a graph in this fashion. That means we observe a maximum peak at which that complex shows its molar ratio. Therefore, in this case, 5 moles of ligand and 5 moles of complex at which we have maximum absorbance, and that indicates the complex form is in 1:1 ratio. In this way, here we can determine the composition of complex by Jobs continuous variation method, in which the metal ion concentration and ligand ion concentration are continuously varied, but both are kept constant. Therefore, at a point where we have maximum absorbance, that indicates the molar ratio of that particular complex. Now the third method for determination of composition of complex is called as slope method. Slope method, in which we can determine the concentration of metal ion as well as ligand, which is combined with the formation of complex. In this case here, suppose for example a x mole of metal ion and y mole of ligand gives the mx Ly complex. This is the complex formation. Therefore here we have to prepare a solution, standard solutions, in which concentration of metal ion is kept constant. Metal ion, concentration of metal ion kept constant, and then whatever the absorbance thus observed is equal to, is related with the concentration of ligand, because here ligand concentration is changed. In this case, and second case is that we have to again prepare a standard solution in which the concentration of ligand kept constant, and here a metal ion concentration is varied. Metal ion concentration change. Then in this case we have two graphs. If a metal ion concentration change, then we have a graph like this. Here absorbance as a function of, here a metal ion concentration is fixed, means here ligand ion concentration. Then here we have a graph in this fashion, that is a straight line passing through the origin. This is again a calibration curve, because here total absorbance is determined by A is equal to, when metal ion concentration is fixed, A is equal to epsilon B upon X into concentration of metal ion. When metal ion concentration is changed, means here we have to change the metal ion concentration. Then absorbance is determined by the concentration of metal ion. And when ligand ion concentration is changed, therefore when concentration of ligand is changed, then also we have a same graph with the slope equal to epsilon B upon Y and concentration of L. Here in these two equations, the slope, that is x, epsilon B upon x, and here slope is epsilon B upon Y. If we take the ratio of these two, then we have that is epsilon B upon x upon epsilon B upon Y, means equal to epsilon B upon x into Y upon epsilon B. Here epsilon B get cancelled, therefore Y upon x, which is the molar ratio of that particular complex. This method is called as a slope method for determination of molar ratio of the complex. This method is called as a slope method. In this case, slope of the line or calibration curve, that gives the ratio of Y upon x, that is the number of ligand joined to that metal ion. Student, now we discuss the next application of spectrophotometry, that is the determination of instability constant. Instability constant of the complex. Instability constant is exactly reverse to stability constant, and it is also called as dissociation constant. Suppose for example, when when a particular complex is formed, a M plus NL gives here MLL. All complex formation reactions are equilibrium reaction. And when we apply the law of mass action to this equilibrium, then we have MLL is equal to, upon M upon L raised to N. This equation gives the stability constant of the complex. That means this equation indicates the formation of complex, and K in stability is equal to exactly reverse to this. That means here dissociation of this complex, then this is given by concentration of M into concentration of N raised to N upon concentration of MLL. Therefore, equation 2 that indicates the instability constant and equation 1 indicates the stability constant. Therefore, we can determine instability constant of complex by using this equation. Suppose, for example, if alpha is a degree of dissociation of this complex, then alpha is equal to degree of dissociation of the complex, and C is the initial concentration, initial concentration of the complex, then we have metal ion concentration is equal to C into alpha, ligand ion concentration is equal to Nc into alpha, and metal complex ion concentration is C into 1 minus alpha. If we put this value in this equation, then we have K instability. K instability is equal to here C alpha into N C alpha raised to N upon C into 1 minus alpha. That is the instability constant. Therefore, in this equation is equal to this equation, and therefore here instability constant of this complex is determined by this equation. But for spectrophotometric determination, we standard solution of metal ion with excess of ligand, and we have to measure the absorbance of that standard solution, that is AM, that is maximum absorbance AM, and similarly we have to that S is stoichiometry. Here solution of metal ion and ligand concentration in 1:n ratio. These two absorbers we have to measure, and simply we have to put these two absorbers in this equation. Therefore, K instability is equal to AM minus AS divided by AM. Therefore, here this ratio directly gives us the concentration of K instability constant of the complex. Students, now we discuss the next application, that is determination of pK value of acid base indicator. pK value of acid base indicator. We can determine dissociation constant of acid base indicator by means of spectrophotometry, and that is a pK value of indicator. Suppose, for example, we have methyl red indicator. Methyl red means this is NCH3 twice, here N double bond N, here this phenyl ring containing this carboxylic group, and this is again another phenyl ring. Here when hydrogen is present at this position, then this have a positive charge, this have a negative charge, and this is a structure of methyl red. Methyl red is an acid-base indicator. Methyl red maintain its molecular form, that means this form in acid solution as it is, and it gives the red color. Therefore, it gives the red color in acid medium because methyl red already have a red color. Therefore, this form is maintained in acid medium. But when methyl red undergo ionization with the NaOH or in base, then here OH minus, then here this structure is get changed in this way. Therefore, here this is same phenyl ring, N CH3 twice, here N double bond N, and this is a phenyl ring with this carboxylic group. This has a yellow color, dissociated form have a yellow color, and this yellow color is represented as a Mr minus because here H plus ion is given in the ionization reaction, and this is a HMr, that is a molecular form with H plus ion. Therefore, here in presence of base it gives a structure like this, and in presence of acid it gives this structure like this. Therefore, here this molecular form of methyl red is maintained into the acid medium. Therefore, it gives red color in acid medium, and basic form have an ionization form that gives the yellow color in the basic medium. Now, how to determine the dissociation constant of this acid-base indicator? Suppose, for example, these two form, that is, indicators are the weak organic acids or organic bases. This is weak organic acid because they have carboxylic group. Therefore, here H plus Mr minus is the ionization of this methyl red indicator. This is a methyl red indicator. We can apply law of mass action and we can find out the equilibrium constant for this reaction as a concentration of H plus into concentration of Mr minus upon concentration of HMr. In this case, when we take a log K is equal to log of H plus ion plus log of Mr minus upon HMr, and therefore here multiplying with minus 1, log K is equal to minus log of H plus ion concentration to the base 10 minus log of here Mr minus concentration upon HMr. Now in this case, when concentration of, when we know that this equal to pK and this is equal to pH, equal to minus log of this Mr minus upon HMr. In this case, when this methyl red is undergo half ionization means here concentration of this form is equal to concentration of this form at the half of the ionization. That means here ionized form and unionized form have equal concentration when methyl red undergo half ionization. At that time pH is equal to pKa, and this is at half ionization. Therefore, we have to find out the pH at which this methyl red undergo a half ionization. Therefore, for this purpose, for calculation of pK value of this indicator, we have to prepare the buffer solution of pH 2 to 12. That means we have to prepare buffer solution whose pH is in between 2 to 5. 2 to 12. Prepare buffer solution having pH in range 2 to Then add equal amount of methyl red in each solution. Then measure the absorbance at a wavelengths where red and yellow color absorbs. Then plot graph of absorbance as a function of pH for determination of pKa. And therefore this graph is like this. In this case, absorbance is plotted as a function of pH. Therefore, red color solution, this is, suppose for example, this is pH 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and so on. This is the pH. Here this pH 2, 3, 4, this solution have a red color, 9, 10, 11 have a yellow color. Therefore here red color solution shows maximum red color at its own wavelength. Then we have a graph in this way, and yellow color solution shows a maximum absorbance at their own wavelength. Here this graph intersect, that is the pH is equal to pKa, at which this concentration of Mr minus and concentration of HMR are identical. That means this ratio is equal to 1. In this way, the pH of the solution is determined and then pKa can be calculated. Or next application of colorimetry or spectrophotometry, that is the identification of organic compound. Identification of organic compounds. Organic compounds are identified under a special branch of organic chemistry that is called as organic spectroscopy. Organic spectroscopy, in which the information obtained by IR spectroscopy, ultraviolet visible spectroscopy and nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy, all these information can be utilized for determination of structure of the complex. But in spectrophotometry, only epsilon, that is lambda max, that is wavelength of absorbance, and epsilon max is utilized for identification of that complex. Therefore, here we can identify organic compound by their wavelength of absorption. Similarly, here identification of cis and trans isomers are also identified by this spectrophotometry. In this case, cis isomer and trans isomer have different value of lambda max, and that is a information we can utilize for identification of the cis and trans isomers in inorganic complexes. So suppose for example we have this compound, that is benzethylene diamine difluoride nitrate F2NO3. These have two types of complex. One is cis, another is trans. Therefore, here cis, here cobalt at the center, here F, EN, and this is EN. This cis isomer have violet color, and therefore it absorbs at different wavelength, and trans isomer have a green color, and therefore here this green color will be absorbed at another wavelength. Therefore trans and cis isomers of inorganic complexes are also identified by means of spectrophotometry, simply by measuring the wavelength of maximum absorbance. Student, these are all about the different applications of spectrophotometry in quantitative analysis. We already discussed the applications of spectroscopy in qualitative analysis. Therefore, here we complete total spectroscopy, that is a ultraviolet visible spectroscopy for identification and estimation of the sample solution or a different compounds. With this, we stop here. Thanks for joining me. Wish you all the best. Keep learning. Happy learning.